So I'm sure you're aware that the Z1, I'm waiting for him to get this one, was launched first. There's a new one called a Z1 Compact. Nice thing about it is we've shown these phones. Many people like the large screens, but some people like how small an iPhone is. They like that form factor, they like that size. So the Z1 Compact is around the size of an iPhone, but it's thinner and it's waterproof. And it has a better camera, and the list goes on and on. So if you say a Z1 is too big, we have a Z1 Compact for that particular customer. Has all the features that are available on the Z1, but just in a smaller chassis. This is the UX room, user experience space, and so the goal is to enhance your life without overwhelming your room with technology. So some of the things that they're showing in this room is first that the lamp here has a laser projector as well as the ability to track motion of your hand. And what we can do is imagine in the morning you wake up with your coffee. You can put your coffee on a table and wave your hand over the table, and a display is projected onto the table that you can interact with. I can answer my email, I can look at post-it notes, I can look at my calendar, all just using my common table. The technology is not in the table, it is in the lamp, and when it's gone, it's just the lamp and it's just the table. So the possibilities of using that is endless. So think about the best way to think of it is a virtual iPad or a virtual tablet on your table. And when I push the button, it is gone. The next thing he showed was up in the ceiling, and those two lights are actually ceiling projectors that project up, and they can give you a virtual skylight. You live in Seattle, and now you want a sunny day. Now I can give you that experience. Next is we have look like a mirror, and now it is when I touch it, it becomes a display where I can get information. So imagine it being waking up in the morning and you're getting ready and you find out you have an email. You just touch your mirror, you answer your email on the mirror, look at the data, and then you wave your hand, and now it's just a mirror again. Great technology. Those three are concepts. What he's going to show you now is something you'll be able to buy this summer. And that is a short throw 4K Ultra HD projector. Solves all of the problems that you normally will come across when you deal with a projector. First thing is the projector normally has to be in the back of the room. People walk in front of it. Now they don't. It's only 27 inches from the wall, can project a 147-inch picture. The next thing is because it's a laser, you don't have to worry about bulb life, so you can use it all the time. It's also brighter, so you can use it all the time. It also, because it's a laser, generates very little heat, which means very quiet fans and no noise. So all the things, the reason why you would not use a projector as your normal daytime TV has been eliminated. And the nice thing is when I turn off the lights or when I turn everything off, it goes right back to being in a regular room. The biggest TV you could possibly buy, but when I turn it off, it's not there at all. Now, the nice thing is all these technologies can be combined together to come up with the ultimate experience to transport you to someplace else. So imagine that you want to be in an aquarium, which is what he's going to do. He can take all of these different technologies, turn them all on together, and they work together to change the environment that you live in. So for example, the bottom of the ocean, you can look up and you can see the sky like you're in the water. It's basically you're in a submarine. So it can take you someplace. So first, right now, he's doing an aquarium. So it's a nice way that you can get this immersive experience using technology, but the technology doesn't have to overwhelm your environment. Next thing he's going to do is like a beautiful sunset. You have the sky above you, you have the water on one side, you have the water in front, and you have the water here. So it's a nice, enveloping, relaxing environment. We always say it's like a holodeck in Star Trek. Like if you don't like where you're living, I can take you someplace else using Sony technologies. The last one that's really neat is now you're in Paris. And now you're in Paris and you can enjoy being in a nice Paris street. Now we talk about this interface is interactive. So he can walk up to it, and when he touches the screen, see if it'll come up for me. it gonna work? Oh, a touchscreen interface comes up, and you can actually now control it. So it's more than just a projector. It allows you to interact with that projector, and you can use the combination of the projectors to enhance your life. Like I said, 3 of them are concepts, but the projector will be available for sale this summer. So we're bringing these new technologies to customers today. Now you go, okay, well, YouTube 4K. Where is this 4K content going to come from to be posted on YouTube? 2 years ago, a 4K projector a 4K camera could cost you $100,000. Last year we got it down for the pros to about $25,000. Then a little later in the summer, we came up with a prosumer-based camcorder at $4,700. So wedding photographers, people who do those types of things, have a beautiful compact camera for $4,700 where they can shoot 4K video. It's amazing how many of those cameras are in this show right now, shooting little web-based series. On top of that, we want to make it even easier. So we just launched this camera here. This is our new 4K camcorder, and it is going to be $2,000 US. So anybody that's looking for a new camera and they want the very best, this camera gives you 4 times the clarity and resolution of a regular HD camera. And no other company in this building has been able to even get a consumer camcorder down to $4,000, and we're already at 2. So all that footage that is being shot on this new beautiful consumer camcorder, now I can shoot my wedding, my birthday parties, and I can post them on YouTube, and your mom, your sister, 3,000 miles away can actually watch that footage back in 4K. So the content is coming rapidly. Now, since we're talking about 4K, even though there's no broadcast currently, a lot of broadcast content is actually shot in 4K today, as well as a large amount of movies and TV shows. This is because we've worked with those studios and to develop a workflow for that particular content. Companies like ESPN in the United States are shooting their sports in 4K because they broadcast in 720p. You can zoom in on 4K 9 times, and it's bit for bit 720p. So that's why when you look at something, you go, okay, was that ball out of bounds? They can zoom in so you can see inches, and it's still in HD because I have so much more resolution to play with. The benefit of this is because all of this content is already being shot, unlike HD, the broadcasters brought up the HD channels and there was nothing to watch. So they played the same movie 5 times a day. The second they click the switch for 4K broadcast, all the TV shows are already being shot. The sporting events are already being shot in it. FIFA, US NFL, all the major soccer leagues are already shooting in 4K. Click the switch. Now your TV goes from an HD TV that's 4K TV that's upscaling HD to 4K content. So so times are changing far more rapidly than what happened when we were doing HD and transferring to HD. This is like a professional-based 4K camcorder. This package rig will probably cost you about $25,000 the way you see it here, $25,000, $30,000. Then we did this, which is what you'll see videographers, wedding photographers, people, video bloggers using. These retail for around $4,700. And now we have this guy here, which retails for $2,000. So we have a full solution, whether you're a professional or whether you're a passionate consumer, to shoot 4K content. We all know action cams are very powerful. We have a new version of the action cam. First thing was, we have learned that while these were originally intended to be used for hobbyists, actual movie people and hardcore producers are actually using these. You know what? Someone's going to jump out of an airplane for a movie. It's a lot easier to strap something that big on a helmet than it is to strap a normal big, large camcorder or camera on it. So professionals are starting to use it. So the first thing we did was we came up with a new Kodak, which is like the format the camera records in, that is actually professional level. So if you want to use this for professional uses, you can. The next thing is it has steady shot. Most of the competitors' cameras do not have steady shot. So as a person skiing down the hill, the footage is all shaky and things like that. Our stuff is much smoother, a lot easier to add and to watch. If you're watching someone skiing down the hill, you don't get seasick because you don't get motion sickness from it. The next thing is, notice I have 6 cameras here. The cameras also have GPS, so it can also track data like how fast you were going, your distance and your location. The cameras can then use that to sync themselves together. So you can sync 6 of these cameras together and get a view from 6 different locations. So we showed them the BMW. We said you could put one on the roll cage in the car. You can put one on the hood, one on the fender, and one facing backwards, and the cameras will sync all that information together for you. And now you can get a full perspective. No company is more involved in 4K than Sony. Sony's been doing it for over 2 years. You walk through the show, you'll see 4K everywhere. But there's more to 4K than just resolution. I tell people this all the time. When you look out a window, there is more resolution, but there's also more color, and there's a wider range of brightness, from the dazzling sun to the black of your jacket. You have to be able to reproduce both of those at the same time. All of the other companies are just now working on the resolution. We did that 2 years ago. We addressed color with Triluminous a year ago, and now we have addressed the brightness. And if you look here, we talk about brightness range. It is so black, you cannot see where the bezel of the TV is. Yet, look how bright and vivid the face is. It is like she is literally in this room with you. And we have challenged people who come and ask about TVs. We say, go back to any manufacturer's booth and walk up to them and say, show me a TV I can buy this year, the best TV you have that I can buy this year, and then go and come back and compare it to this TV. And there's not a TV in this building that you can buy this year that can match this TV. Look at the red of her dress. I mean, it really gets across the message of how good that picture quality actually is. The incredible amount of detail that's available in the picture, and how the inky blacks and the vivid whites. You normally have to choose one or the other. You can't have that kind of blacks with that kind of, we're the only company that's figured out how to do that. So, oh, by the way, there's going to be 3 series of 4K TVs. This year there's the X950B, which is this guy here, that's our flagship. There's going to be what's called an X900B, which is this model here. So that's a 950, this is a 900. This replaces our flagship from last year. And then there's another model called an X850 we're not showing because it's basically a very thin bezeled, very thin TV. Not very noticeable. And we wanted TVs that really stood out. All we have to say about that TV is it's very thin, it's got a great picture. YouTube 4K and Netflix 4K are services that are coming very soon, which will allow you to stream 4K to your house. They say you need about 15 megabit per second in order for it to play it back, but most people have that kind of internet connections and that'll be okay. Netflix, they said, is going to be launching probably in the next 2 months or so. So we're talking very, very rapid. Wedge design. There's a reason why we made the wedge. Most TVs appear to be thin, but they bump out in the back. So you really can't hang them on the wall. Most TVs appear to be thin, but they go like this and they bump out. What we did is we made a gradual transition. The reason why we did that is now I can have a bigger box for my speakers. Bigger box and bigger speakers means better sound. So better sound. The next thing is it puts the weight of the TV towards the bottom of the TV, which means it's more stable and the stand does not have to be very wide. Most of the time to hold a big TV, you have to have a very wide stand so it doesn't tip over. Because the weight's at the bottom, you don't have to worry about that. This stand can be mounted here, or if your stand's not that wide, there's other positions. Another position here and here, so you can mount it narrow. So if you have a narrow stand, it'll still fit. So, by the way, if this has a tweeter, a woofer, and a subwoofer. And if you want even more bass, we're going to be selling if you look in the room, there's actually a wireless subwoofer that you can actually buy and add to any of our TVs next year. When you plug the wireless subwoofer into the TV, it recognizes what TV it is and it'll calibrate itself. So it's very best on any model that you connect it to. New menu system, new remote. We still have the traditional remote that we used to have, but now we have a newer remote now. And I can take this remote and it's got a new system. It's called the one-flick menu system. What happens is as you watch TV, the TV learns your viewing habits. So what it starts to do is when I flick it up, it'll give you thumbnails of your favorite channels. So if you're watching Discovery Channel, ESPN, or whatever you're watching, it'll learn that, and when I flick it up, it'll tell me what's going on. And I can continue to flick through. Like right now it's connected to Dish Network, and I can browse without having to even go to my box what's going on. I can continue to flick up. I can do YouTube. I can do Video Unlimited, I can do Crackle, I can do multiple apps. It all depends on the country you're at, but it's a lot of services that are available in your country, you can search this way. That way you don't have to come out of what you're watching to browse. The overall menu system is better. So if I bring up the new menu system has changed. And now if I go over here to movies, if I'm searching for movies, it's picture based. So it's a lot more attractive. People said there was a lot of content on our TVs, but it was hard to search. It was hard to browse, and basically the menu was not very pretty. Now our menu is easy to search, easy to browse, and I believe that is a beautiful television menu. In Japan, they have just launched this. This is a high-resolution Walkman. So now it has a 128 gig hard drive in it. You can put 900 of the highest resolution audio files on there you could possibly imagine and carry it with you. So now you do not have to sacrifice between performance and convenience anymore. The quality is there. We have new portable solutions. We all remember our BTX 300s, BTX 500s, little portable sound solutions, because we're focusing on high resolution. This is the newest one. The model is called a SRX X9, and you can tell by the subwoofers, the super tweeters, the sound quality. It's designed to reproduce all of the information that's in super audio to high resolution audio. There are multiple sizes. So if you want something, depending on what you want, this is more, you put it in a room, you carry it from room to room, and you leave it there most of the time. If you want, there's a smaller one that it's even more portable, and if you're on the go, we even have another version. So, and what's nice now is that it's all one family. Everything looks the same. One thing we're trying to do is, regardless of what Sony product you buy, you know it's a Sony. And last year, the looks and feels were all over the place. Everything looks the same. Mini TVs have a lot of functionality to enhance your experience. This is a new technology called social viewing. And what social viewing allows you to do is take three technologies and use them all at the same time. So for example, say I'm watching the World Cup. I can actually type in my favorite team and I can get tweets about what's going on about that game real time, so I can find out what other people think about the game. At the same time, I can start a Skype call with someone across the world who likes the other team, and we can watch that game together. So this demonstration is this TV, which is supposed to be in China, and that TV is supposed to be in Brazil, and you can actually walk between the two cameras and actually see it. So you can share that experience with others and see what others are doing. This feature is available on all of our 4K TVs, all 3 series, and our flagship HD TVs. And all of our flagship HD TV, our flagship HD TV, and all of our 4K TVs now come with built-in cameras. So it's a lot easier now to do these types of things. When you watch TV, a lot of times when we're watching TV, if I want to see what's on the other channels, I reduce what I'm watching so I can look at a channel guide. But it makes no sense. You have another screen in your house. So we have this feature called TV Side View, where I use my other screens in my house, my phones and my tablets, as the other screen. So instead of bringing up my TV's remote control menu to search, I do all the searching on my phone. I can be, for example, if I'm watching Netflix, I can actually, my daughter can be upstairs watching TV. She's 7. She says, Daddy, I want to watch something on Netflix. I can take out my phone, go to the phone's Netflix app, pick the movie, and then when I click on it, it'll say what TV do you want to play it on, and I can, and when I activate it, it plays on that TV. If I'm watching TV and I want to channel surf, I take my phone out or my tablet out, I bring up the channel guide, I scroll through on my phone, and once I select what I want, I press change channel, and the TV's channel changes. If you have a DVR, which is available in many European countries, built into the TV, I can even set up the DVR capabilities from my phone. So literally think of it as a second screen for your television set. I'm sure you remember we make the visors. I'm sure you've all seen them. Well, the new one is out and it's battery powered, so now it's portable. So now I can use my phone. I can bring up a video service on my phone, plug my phone into this head mount display, which you get ready to put on, and now I have a 750-inch screen watching a movie while I'm on an airplane. The next thing that we're doing, so it has two OLED displays in it. It gives you the impression of a 750-inch screen from 65 feet away, IMAX. So it feels like you're watching an IMAX thing. You put the movie on your phone or your tablet, and that's where you're moving. Now you have a theater when you're on the airplane. You're in your own little world. The next thing that we're doing is we're showing a prototype. On the back of the headset, it's a little black box that tracks your head. So now when they're playing the movie, if you look up, you see the sky. You look down to see the ground. Then you see the crowd and you see the wall. So it's literally like you're in an environment. And that can be applied to movies or right there gaming. What they're doing is they have a Sony Xperia phone, a Z1, and what they're doing is they have a PlayStation remote control. I take my phone, I log in, I break up a PlayStation game, I use the PlayStation controller to play the game, and that's my screen. So it's an example of taking PlayStation, taking the cell phone capabilities, taking our PlayStation services, and taking a display technology and turning it into the ultimate experience when you're on the road.